Chris Mariner, the Director of Marketing and Research at the Central New York Business Journal, and we're here with another season of the interviews. Our focus this season is on family-owned businesses in Central New York. And for this interview, I'm here with Cathy Cucciarelli. She is the president of Cucciarelli Consulting Group. Welcome, Cathy.
Thank you. Glad to be here today.
I'd like to start just if you could tell us a little bit about Cucciarelli Consulting Group and what your firm does.
Sure, absolutely. So our firm, obviously in the name, it says consulting. We work with various businesses. I mainly focus on small businesses in all the different aspects that they deal with. For example, their financing, their IT departments, their HR departments, operational management development, and in like the financial world, compliance. We do a lot with compliance. So it's kind of like a mixture of a lot of different things because small businesses really struggle in attacking one of those things, let alone all those things that they need. So we try to work with them to help them develop what they need to meet different requirements as they go, just so they can keep their business going, so they can focus on the things that they like to do, which is working with their clients or their products.
And when did your company start?
So we didn't start until 2019, which I can't even believe was 4 years ago already. I personally have been doing this for many, many years, but actually Cucciarelli Consulting just started 4 years ago.
So what inspired you to start the business?
Well, I've worked with a lot of different people and companies for a very long time in helping them develop these certain areas. They would call and ask, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. My receptionist is running my IT department and the receptionist doesn't know all these things. And it's a lot of burden to put on them. So I thought, there's a need for this. And we work here in Central New York, which is great because this is where I'm from, actually. But we have clients all over the country because it's not unique to our area. So I saw the need and I thought, I can really work with different businesses. And I like to learn about different businesses. So it's great that, you can touch different areas. And they all have the same need, but their endpoint is a little bit different. So it's actually kind of fun. I know it sounds really crazy, like especially for compliance, that it could be fun, but it is for me.
So you're the founder of the business. Is there a second generation working in the business now?
Yes, my son's working with me right now. Our plan is to continue growth there. But yes, he works with me now.
And what are some of the challenges that you found as a family-owned business? Is there anything about you worked for a while in other companies? What's kind of unique about being a family-owned business?
There's pros and cons. I've worked for many family-owned businesses throughout my career, and it could be a struggle sometimes with different thoughts of where they want the company to go and who's going to lead the company, and trying to come together and make sure that you're moving forward with all people within the family, because you have family dynamics on top of just business issues. So that can be really challenging for any company. But on the same token, because they all want everything to move forward, there is some common ground there in trying to work together because it benefits everyone there, which is a little bit different than a company that is not family-based, because someone comes in and they just do their role in the company, but they don't have a part in the company to move it forward. So it can be challenging, but then again, it can be very rewarding in, working with a family business. And so taking my past experience, I try to use that now because it's, knowing some of the struggles that could happen there, try to get ahead of that ahead of time with my business.
So you're still a relatively young business. Have you had any situations where there's, your son is working with you? Has his role evolved in the short time that you've been open? Taking more of the reins of the business as time goes on?
Oh, absolutely. So right now, he's taken over a lot since we've started, and just it's great collaboration, because obviously with different thought processes of, newer thoughts coming in that are fresher versus things that I've always done. So we work really well together. So that's a huge plus for us.
So do you think that, younger generations have kind of a different perspective on business or different types of business goals than your generation had?
Yes and no. I do see a difference, especially when I'm working with other companies in what they're experiencing. There's a lot of fresh ideas that are coming out, and obviously technology plays a huge part in that. And getting, sometimes a smaller company is really not as involved with technology as the newer generation is. So there can be huge conflicts there in trying to get things together with a business moving forward. I know enough to be dangerous with technology, so it makes it a lot of fun. And my business is totally remote. So way before COVID, my business was always remote this way, and all of my employees all work remote. So we're already that far ahead that we were already in place with that.
Yeah.
But a lot of businesses aren't that way. So I think the younger generation coming in can have some really great ideas on how to streamline processes, but then the older generation has the thought of how it works, and they kind of have to come together on, okay, we know how it's got to work, but how can we use new technology to achieve what we're used to working with?
So that's interesting that you were already remote prior to the pandemic. You think that kind of gave you a little bit of an advantage or a leg up on other companies, because you were already kind of in that the rhythm of doing things remotely when everybody else was still adapting?
In comparison to other people like me or my business, no, I think we're pretty much always this way. It made it easier for us, because then we got to focus on helping our clients who might not have been in that situation, helping them get to a remote situation. So I think that was a benefit of just already having that experience, and that's how we work all the time. It works really great for my business because you're able to, people can work whenever. So we're not a 9-to-5 shop, it doesn't matter. We have clients in Hawaii. So, from Central New York, we're at a 6-hour time difference. So when you're doing that, you have to be able to be flexible. So we let you work whenever, as long as the work gets done, we don't care what time it happens. It works really well, unless of course, you have an appointment or a meeting with a client type of thing. And so I think that really makes a big difference. And although I think a lot of companies that are in the consulting business are remote like that all the time, I don't think it really gave us a leg up, but it did help our clients a lot in trying to get to where they need to be able to be functionable, because a lot of them just, especially in a small business, they just weren't equipped to do that.
Yeah. So from a consulting perspective, did you find yourself consulting with any of them on those types of transitions, beyond your normal subject matter, kind of how to operate in this new environment?
Absolutely. We talked a lot about that. And sometimes it's just the visual part of having that visual connection and helping them, how do they manage their employees? How do they do workflow back and forth? How do you keep management or keep everyone engaged? It was really, could be very trying. And if the employees during the pandemic didn't have technology to be able to work remote or reliable technology, it created a whole nother headache for companies. So it could have been really challenging for some, and some were a little bit, they were halfway there. They just had to get over the goal line of what they needed to do. So we worked with a lot of our businesses to assist them in this area. But as much as that was a trying time, it was great for us to be able to help our clients to achieve that, that next level that they needed.
Yeah. When we talk to family businesses, the ones that have been around a long time, the word legacy gets thrown around a lot. What does the company mean over time? And you're pretty new on your family business journey, but have you given any thought to what you want the legacy of your firm to be, or where do you envision it long term?
So we're in growth mode right now, which is great. Continuing in that aspect, we're continuing to grow. And the idea would be to keep everyone engaged with the growth of the business and the direction we want to move in, because I see a lot of times with family businesses that the newer generation coming in really doesn't want to do what the older generation established. So it's really important to have that collaboration on, as you're growing, where do you want the business to go, and start working that way all the time, instead of, we have this business, now you're going to pass it on to the younger generation, and maybe that's not the direction they want to go in. So we try to really have that open collaboration all the time.
Okay. And just one last question. What do you think is on the, the immediate horizon for your business? Do you have any new kind of initiatives or directions that you're thinking about going in?
Not at this time. We're pretty much staying, because we get new clients all the time, which has been great. It's one of those great problems to have, is just having more time to do that. So we've expanded. We're up to 7 employees already. In 4 years in a business like this, that's huge accomplishment for us. So I'm really excited by that. And we're just going to keep on the avenue that we are now, right now, in the type of business structure that we're doing. No ideas of moving into different areas yet, but that maybe as we continue to grow, taking on, some new exciting areas. But right now we're just going to stay with, the working with the businesses, helping them develop their management skills and their operational skills, and their compliance is really where our focus is.
All right. Well, thank you, Cathy. This has been a great conversation, and I thank you for your time and for sharing your company's story with everyone. And have a great day.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.